I recently talked a lot about mastering positions so that you can start to modulate some of the pain on your own. This is for people with chronic back pain. The thing that I found works the best is you can get all the adjustments you want and they work. Sometimes they're the most powerful thing. Sometimes they'll give you a week of feeling like you're pain-free or have more range of motion and do more things than ever. But once in a while, you're gonna have to be able to take care of it on your own because you're just stuck without your chiropractor wherever you might be. I experienced this over New Year's when I was in Key West and I ran every day. I really needed some adjustments. I ended up actually, my back kind of went out when I went to the airport because too much fatigue had set in and I was doing too many things and dragging the bag around and running and not really getting, the best, care, so to speak. So I want you to see what you can do. One of the positions is whether you have a baseball or a lacrosse ball. This is actually the least optimal, but let's just assume you have a foam roller around. And then you come into this position of what I call, this is basically, this is flexion. This is passive flexion. But from passive flexion, being able to lay in here and get the roller or the lacrosse ball or the baseball in the psoas muscle, in those deep anterior flexor muscles. So sometimes even just by laying here, mastering this position to where the pain is reduced. The second position may very well be like this. Picture there's an ornament or a chair under here. And it might be like this to where a lot of pressure is coming off the back. A lot of people like this kind of feeling. If you can get pain reduction from that, start to practice sort of motioning from side to side because that's going to open up the IVFs. You can see how this position mimics an adjustment, or I might even get a cheap, thrilled, crack in there. I'm not telling you to crack your own back. What I'm doing is showing you how you can reduce some pain on your own slowly without doing something super high risk. This very well might be very high risk for some people. So while you're in this position, just know that you can come back and roll. I know the dog is very excited, especially in the morning time, guys. And end up in this position where you're doing some cat-cows and beginning to control motion. Walk yourself up, little push-off. Okay. The point I'm making is you come up now and walk around. If you're in less pain, you've mastered those positions, one or the other or both. Now you can move around more. Just get a walk in. Get a small, short, 5-10 minute walk. Sit down on the couch then, ice your back. See if that sort of took care of it on your own. The reason I'm saying this is I'm not calling this a cure-all. What I'm doing is showing you how you can begin to kind of control a lot of your own pain by finding the right motions and the right body positions, because inevitably getting those windows of pain-free time or time frames of being pain-free, you can do things like more active rehab. More active rehab, which we already just did, sort of kind of active, although those are more passive moves, is moves like this, opposite hand, opposite leg. Can you begin to get motion through your spine by doing opposite hand, opposite leg? I find it's better to drag. You can watch Stu McGill videos as to the reasons why we drag for blood flow and the crawl mechanisms of why that's good for the brain. But just doing that to stimulate the glutes, going into a plank and again, mimicking this flexion extension through the spine, and now you have more motion.